Hey, what's up everyone, Ragey Golden Eagle here, having way too much fun as always. And by now I'm sure you've all heard about the bullshit that Bethesda pulled recently. For those of you who don't though, here's a little summary. They pretty much tracked down and threatened legal action against a guy for the crime of listing a sealed copy of The Evil Within 2 on the Amazon Marketplace. Yeah, they literally told the guy he either has to remove it or face legal action. So obviously the community was none too happy with this, and instead of just admitting they royally fucked up and apologize for it, they decided to double down and go full Bill Clinton. Pete Hines explains why Bethesda blocked resale of a sealed copy of The Evil Within 2. It all comes down to the definition of new, apparently. Yeah, what'd I just say? They're pulling a Bill Clinton here. Well, that depends on what the definition of the word is. That's how you know someone is full of shit and is just trying to grasp at whatever straws they can find to get out of their shithole. So what exactly is their problem? Well, I'm gonna let Hines explain it himself. He explained that the issue was not that Hupp was selling the game secondhand, but specifically that he listed it as new. All we're saying is that if it's a previously owned product, you have to sell it as a previously owned product, he told Eurogamer. This raises some very interesting questions. Let's continue for now, though. You could have opened it up, he went on to explain, played it for 5 hours, taken whatever inserts or stuff was in there, put it back in shrink wrap and said, hey, this is new. It's not new. You owned it. You bought it. So just list it as a used title. That's it. That's the end of the argument. Is it now? So then, does that mean that the retailer that buys the game directly from you, does that mean that they owned it and it's not new anymore and they have to list it as used? By their own definition of the word new, are they pretty much just accusing GameStop of selling used games as new? Are they gonna start filing a legal action against GameStop now? Something tells me they're probably not gonna do that. These large corporations aren't generally all that big on picking fights with someone their own size. They like to just stomp on the necks of people who can't defend themselves. And this is really sad too, because up until fairly recently, Bethesda was one of my favorite companies. But then you got the dumpster fire that was Fallout 4, you got the whole paid mods bullshit, and now this? Not to mention the fact that they're trying to force gamers to play on their own ecosystem, probably so they could push the paid mods again. At this point, all hype I had for The Elder Scrolls 6 is pretty much gone. I'm at the wait and see stage at this point, because I'm pretty much fully expecting the game to be always online and only available through Bethesda's official services. And because of its online nature, it's not going to support modding unless those mods are bought from the official Bethesda store. But anyway, enough about that. I haven't even dealt the most obvious blow here. I'm saving that for the end. For now, let's continue. Hines was at pains to explain that they're not seeking to block sales of used games so long as they're described as used in the listing. If you want to sell your copy of the game, it's pre-owned. You can't say that it's new because I have no way to verify that. Oh, and for some reason, if the store says it's new, you have a way to verify that, huh? Is that pretty much what you're implying? Yeah, those of us who aren't completely blind fanboys, we see what's going on. You don't want anybody making money off of this that's not an official authorized retailer and you get a cut, is that it? Just like with the mods, huh? You want to get a piece of that pie, don't you? All those mods for your game coming out for free and you're not making any money off of them, that just makes you sick to your stomach, doesn't it? So speaking of mods, I promised the low blow, so here we go. If you want to be such little bitches that you're arguing about the definition of the word new, let's talk about the definitions of completed product and early access then, shall we, Bethesda? The company that's notorious for releasing unfinished games as complete? Maybe we gotta talk about what the definition of complete is, huh? Maybe if your games still have 3 years of bug fixes ahead of them, that funny enough the modders are able to fix within the first fucking week, maybe you shouldn't be allowed to sell your games as finished or complete. You should be required to sell them as early access until they are actually finished. All of a sudden, you don't like this line of reasoning, do you? Because this is ultimately where it's gonna end up. Arguing about the definition of new is honestly pretty damn rich coming from a company that releases unfinished games as complete, and then in a way already makes money hand over fist off of the backs of modders because us fans, we know the modders are gonna have the game fixed within a few days. And even then, that's still not enough for you. You still want to cut even further and steal even more money, don't you? As evidenced by the fact that you're just not gonna give up on the whole paid mods thing, huh? You know what? Paid mods are already a thing. Oh hey, look, I really love this mod. Oh hey, this guy has a Patreon. Let me throw him like $10 because I really love his work. But that's not enough for you because you're not getting a cut. And I can already hear the fanboys screeching now. Oh, but it's their game. They should be able to get a cut of the mods, right? They're the ones that made the game. Okay, fair enough. I'm willing to concede that point as soon as Bethesda gives modders a cut of the profits of the game, because modders are the reason most of us buy their games. Modders are the reason we buy early access games 3 years before they're finished. If Bethesda wants to make money off of the mods, then they damn well better be paying the modders for supporting their game while it's in its early access stage, aka the first 2-3 years after release. It's only fair after all. But that aside, hopefully I've proven the point that two can play at this game. And while it's not a particularly fair game because I'm not a multi-billion-dollar corporation, the fact remains these companies don't exist without us, the customers. And by pulling this shit, Bethesda has pissed me off to the point that while I'm not going to be boycotting their games entirely, I sure as hell am not going to pay full price for them. So you know what, I take back what I said. I'm still pretty hyped for The Elder Scrolls 6. Once it's on sale for $10. And provided it's not always online anyway. And that's all I gotta say, guys. Thanks for listening.